Well, the leftist country of Ecuador has offered sanctuary to the founder of Wikileaks, Julian Assange, and now the latest threat from Wikileaks is plans to leak a major U.S. bank's, quote, state secrets. They won't say where, when, or what bank, but Wikileaks says the coming release of this unnamed bank emails will be compared to Enron if they release harmful information about a big U.S. bank. Could that hurt investors and other banks during these difficult times? Joining us now, Gerald Celente, Trends Research founder, and our friend Mike Baker, former CIA officer. Gerald, I'm going to go to you, my friend. You say, go ahead, leak away, transparency, everything's cool, everything's fair game. Is that right?
That's right. All these people that are talking about other people's lives at risk, I heard the same story when they came out with WikiLeaks, Iraq, and Afghanistan leaks. There were no lives at risk. What's at risk here is showing the incompetence, the buffoonery, and the ineptness of the politicians, the buffoons on the world stage. It's being exposed in front of our eyes.
Fair enough, fair enough, Gerald, fair enough. However, if you're going to put people in harm's way, if you're going to put some of our service people, some of our intelligence officers in harm's way, shouldn't you at least, shouldn't there be a filter there? Like, hey, maybe we shouldn't go ahead and allow these to be, I don't know, published.
Well, how about putting our lives in harm's way? I just heard the king of Saudi Arabia allegedly say that we have to go cut off the head of the snake in Iran. Shouldn't we, the people, know what our men and women are dying for?
Well, hang in there, Gerald. Hang in there.
The democracy of Saudi Arabia?
I want to go to Mike Baker. Mike, in just the last couple of days, the Christmas tree bomb plot in Seattle thwarted because of intelligence. 2010, Pakistan-born U.S. citizen Faisal Shahzad, Times Square bomber, a couple of blocks away from here, thwarted. Afghan immigrant Zazi, the Zazi brothers in Denver, were planning to blow up the New York City subway system. Sears Tower. Time and time again, intelligence stops this, saves people's lives, but Mr. Gerald Celente says, no, don't do that. Make sure everyone knows every investigation. What do you think, Mike?
Right. Well, I guess maybe Gerald's got some, deep operational intelligence, background that I'm not aware of.
I didn't say that, by the way.
I know, but I mean, I'm just not sure where to go with some of these comments because they border on the bizarre. Look, I mean, I understand, Ellis talking about this notion of it's wrong for what Manning did, but it's okay for us. I mean, it's almost as self-righteous and self-serving as Assange himself. No, Julian Assange, you can understand, he paints himself as an anarchist, right? So, by definition, he doesn't care about anything, and he could certainly care less about the consequences of his actions. At the point usually where an anarchist for their actions ends up in jail, that's when they get religion. And my point.
Hold on, I want to go back, guys. I just want to go back to Gerald. Gerald, you didn't say that, but you're saying, we should have a transparent.
What I'm saying is,
what do you want? You want an open book, all investigations open?
Let me finish. What I'm saying is that the information that we've learned so far has not put anybody's lives at risk. The information that I've received from what I see is that we have a bunch of losers out there that they call foreign policy experts. And what I see out there behind all the charade of handshaking and all of these wonderful photo ops are backbiting and incompetence.
Well, welcome to the real world, Gerald.
Yeah. Well, exactly. So let's put it out forward rather than saying what a great job we're doing when they're dealing with a bunch of criminals and crooks. That's not national security.
Hang in there, guys. Hang in there. I want to bring in the panel because, frankly, Gerald, I completely disagree with you. Whether or not they're whatever they are, they're risking their lives. They're on the front lines, you guys. Ellis, help me out here.
They're not all risking their lives.
Hang on, Gerald.
Here's the important distinction. We know, and we know this from much, much history, that governments almost always exaggerate this stuff. Government officials would prefer to operate in secrecy. They don't like the prying eyes of the media and the public. And so we ought to be skeptical at the first blush when every one of these releases is greeted with, oh, my God, the world is coming to an end. Chances are that really isn't true. So let's be a little more balanced in our analysis.
Ellis, they didn't just have what you saw in the papers about the Saudi Arabian king, about the Prime Minister of Germany and all that. there is other stuff that was released that is coming to the context of CIA operatives out there.
Well,
we have to protect our people, our intelligent people out there.
I am not arguing that secrecy is unimportant. I am arguing that we have different roles in our society. The military and the government has some legitimate
but I'm not
reason to
sure.
keep
I'm not understanding what you are arguing.
It's not my job.
Go ahead, Baker.
Okay, I'm just saying I'm missing the logic train on this whole point. It's not. Yeah. It's well. Hold on a second. First of all, again, I mean, people tend to rush into this and say, well, look, Iraq, Afghanistan, nobody's lives were put at stake. Well, God bless you for having some Kreskin-like ability to understand all of this when you don't know what's going on out there.
But what we're doing is
well, thanks very much for that.
I don't want you to decide what the people know.
But
I'm not asking
whether
to
you
decide.
trust Mike Baker or whether or not you should publish this stuff. The point here is, as some would have it, Gerald, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, there should be an open book. If they can find out, let's expose them. My point is, you put people in harm's way when you do that.
What I'm saying is that the government has been telling us one thing, and we're learning another thing. How it happened is another issue.
So
the fact is,
who cares? That happens around the world, Gerald. Guess what? If we're going to have an open book, I'm sure Saudi Arabia doesn't have an open book, or Iran have an open book.
We're supposed to be a democracy. I've heard these politicians talk about transparency till they're blue in the face. It's a cover-up. And now we're seeing how inept they are. That's the embarrassment.
Well, full marks for only getting 3 minutes into this before we have a cover-up.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you said the logic train, Mike Baker. That train left the station a long time ago, early in this segment. I mean, really, where's the responsibility? And you could actually argue priority number one now should be, I don't want us to get too focused on capturing this guy or exexecuting this guy. The focus should be making sure that it doesn't ever happen again. But the question is, hold on a minute, why didn't we prosecute a long time ago? This is not the first time WikiLeaks happened.
You have issues. You have issues that are very sensitive. It came out that China wanted North and South Korea to combine and get along, and this is coming out. This is very intricate diplomatic stuff that's going on.
By the way,
why are you guys letting the military off the hook here?
Alice, hold on.
letting the military off the hook.
How about there could be hundreds of thousands of documents that are even substantially more sensitive.
Absolutely. We're just getting some of it because I assume nobody read all 250,000.
That's the point.
Listen. I mean, if I could just jump in for a second. I mean, over my years, I've had the privilege to read in on a lot of State Department traffic. Now, we do have to dial back the emotion because some of it, yes, and a lot of the salacious material we've seen that the media seems to be loving right now is pedestrian stuff. It's atmospherics. But there is also a great deal of sensitive information in these things. And importantly, and this kind of goes above and beyond sort of the immediacy of arguing about what's happened, is that importantly, the more that our sources and our contacts, whether you're talking about the intel community or the State Department personnel, sources and contacts, the more that they see this sort of thing happen, the more that they see their private comments that they make in confidence to our people get out in public, the less likely they are to share their insights and the closer we get to real problems overseas.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Gerald Celente and Mike Baker, appreciate your time.